Well, hello everyone out there. This is the Head Couch Analyst Show with your host Sanders, where the birds love to flock and the couch analysts love to think they're right, but they're usually wrong. How you guys doing? This is going to be week two picks. I understand that I'm putting this out again on a Saturday. That's usually what's going to be happening this season. And I'll tell you what my pick was for um, the Thursday game, like right here. The Chargers and Chiefs went 24-27, and I picked the Chargers to win this game, and that didn't happen. So 0 and 1 to start this week too. But you know what? I'm gonna get right into it. I'm not even gonna BS it. There's a couple storylines that I'm gonna talk about as I go through this. Right? I thought about doing storylines before, but I'm just gonna do storylines as we go through it. So week one here. Dolphins Ravens is an enticing matchup, mostly because Tua seemed to play pretty well week one, and the Dolphins seem to be have an offense that could easily take advantage of a secondary that's pretty banged up in Baltimore right now. I think if Tua has a great game, the Dolphins are going to win this game. However, I truly believe that like Lamar is going to be taking it to another level again this season, just like he did last season. I don't think it's a joke that he was able to throw three 20-plus yard touchdowns last week, and I think he's going to be doing something similar this week as well. He'll have a great performance in and out. So I'm actually picking Baltimore to this one, although I firmly believe that the Dolphins have a great chance of winning this one. Next game is going to be the Browns and the Jets. The Jets have a nice roster. Some people are picking the Jets as an upset against the Browns here, but frankly, I think the Browns looked pretty decent against the Panthers. I don't think it's a great win, but they should be able to beat the Jets here and have a nice 2-0 start for the Browns. Looking at the Washington Commanders and the Lions, there's a lot of people who are actually favoring the Lions. Even Vegas, last time I checked on the betting, was favoring the Lions to win this, which means I recommend taking Washington in your betting on the plus side. I don't remember what it is, but I would be doing that if I were you. Washington can easily win this game. Carson Wentz had a pretty decent game. Yeah, he had a couple interceptions he threw where they almost lost it, but Washington could win this game, and the Lions could too. The Lions have a lot of heart. They're playing hard for their coach, but at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go with Washington because their wide receiver room is just way too good. Moving on to the Colts and the Jaguars. Fun fact: the Colts just can't win in Jacksonville, and that's a really lame reasoning for me to pick the Jaguars to win this game, but that's the reason I'm picking it. History keeps putting itself as the Colts are losing in Jacksonville, so I'm gonna keep going with that until it stops happening. So Jacksonville wins this game, and let's not forget that like Doug Peterson is coaching this team, and they looked pretty solid last week against the Washington Commanders. I honestly feel like they're only gonna get better as we go, and Trevor Lawrence is finally gonna have a true rookie season and show will Travis Etienne. Although despite the fact me saying Trevor Lawrence is going to have a true rookie season, he has a 16-17 game handicap with that rookie season. So forget the Urban Meyer season ever existed. Next one, Buccaneers Saints. So Tom Brady has historically struggled against the Saints as a Buccaneer. I think that ends on this one here. I like the Saints, but I truly believe that like the Bucks are finally gonna buck this trend. No pun intended there. Not much more for me to say on that one. They looked pretty solid against Dallas. This defense looks a lot meaner than I thought it would, and I think they're going to give Jameis Winston some trouble. So Buccaneers for this one here. Giants Panthers. This one's a toss-up, honestly. I'm pretty sure on the episode I said 3 days ago that I picked the Panthers to win this game, and I still think I'm going with that one. So I don't know. Go back to the episode that we had a couple weeks ago on whether I picked the Giants or Panthers for this one, but I'm pretty sure I picked the Panthers, and I'll stick with that. Patriots Steelers. Listen, I said like a week ago that like the Patriots and the Steelers were not going to be as good as, sorry, that the Patriots were not going to be as good as we thought they were going to be, and it's true. As for the Steelers, wow, they impressed in week one. That defense is mean. I understand TJ Watt's out for a couple weeks, but Mike Tomlin knows how to prepare his team. I did say Mike Tomlin would go at least 9-8 this season. I did not expect them to start 2-0 though, and going that 9-8 season. So they might outperform my 9-8 expectations. However, it's only week one. We need to see what they're going to do progressively moving forward. But I still got them winning this game against the Patriots because I did say the Patriots would struggle, and they more than struggled against the Dolphins, and I don't anticipate it's going to get any better against a solid Steelers defense, even without TJ Watt. Next one, I'm going to chalk up last week against the Bills as you were playing the Super Bowl favorite, the Bills, right? And you lost some talent, although Allen Robinson should be doing much better than OBJ ever did for the Rams. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why Stafford wasn't throwing to him. Cooper Kupp had a fine game. Jalen Ramsey got burnt like toast. Not much more to say on that. The Falcons choked last week. Shocker. Falcons and choking. what better story is there in the NFL? So, I, this game, I'm not interested in this game at all. But quite honestly, with you guys, like, the Rams should win this one. If they lose this one, I'm very concerned for the Rams. Seahawks 49ers. This was a mirage. This Monday night win was a mirage. The Seahawks defense was getting shredded the whole time. The offense was shut out in the second half. They had no business winning that game. Theoretically, the game should have been 30-17 with those two fumbles. I digress. The Seahawks won the game. Good for them. That's a freak win, dude. 49ers shouldn't lose this. And if they do, there's something wrong with the offense, and it starts with Trey Lance if they lose this. But I'm picking the 49ers here. Again, I also think the Bengals like kind of had a fluky like 5 turnover performance last week. I don't anticipate that happening again. Dak Prescott is gone for a while. Do you trust Cooper Rush? I personally don't. There's not a ton for me to say on this one. The offensive weapons aren't there besides CeeDee Lamb, at least currently as it looks like. Elliott is just progressively getting worse and worse on the average per season. Obviously, he's only had one game this season, and it was 52 yards, so he's averaging 52 yards. We'll see how like Elliott actually does, but uh, this Cowboys team is just kind of icky, and now that Dak Prescott's gone, it's even more icky. So Bengals got this one. I don't know what to think of the Texans. I'd like to see more of them first, but the Broncos were shredding it on offense for the most part until they got into the red zone. Because of that, I'm picking the I'm picking the Broncos here. Like the Broncos should beat the Texans here. They should shred the Texans just like they shredded the Seahawks. But hey, you know what, Nathaniel Hackett, maybe we should get that ball in the end zone. Because that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know if you knew that. Moving on. Cardinals Raiders. So, funnily enough, I got the Cardinals starting 3-2 this season. And starting 3-2, I got them also starting 0-2. I firmly believe Derek Carr is going to pick apart the Cardinals secondary with Waller, Adams, Renfro, etc. So it's just a rough start for the Arizona Cardinals, and there's going to be a lot of drama around them. I feel both by the Cardinals fan base, Cardinals media, Arizona media, and maybe even the national media, like overrating the contract that was given to Kyler Murray. But they'll bounce back later in the season. At least I think they will. We'll see how it goes. This is probably the most interesting matchup because the Bears outperformed expectations against the 49ers. Yes, it was in pouring rain, but theoretically, like it should have been a slugfest, and it still was, but Lance should not have performed as well as he did. No, sorry, not Lance. I don't know why I said Lance. I literally was picturing Justin Fields when I said that. Justin Fields performed probably a lot better than I thought he would, and probably more than most people thought he would. We'll see what the Bears can do. It was a very underrated team. I'd kind of written them off, but here they are sitting 1-0. Are they going to beat Green Bay this Sunday night? Probably not, if I'm being honest. The Packers have always had a rough week one. And to quote Aaron Rodgers, he has owned the Bears his whole fucking life, so I don't anticipate that that's going to change. Packers win this one. Probably not even something that's close. If it's close, though, I will firmly believe the Bears are a lot better than we anticipate. Or if they just win the game, I'll firmly believe they're a lot better than we anticipated. Moving on to Monday Night Football. Look, I don't like the Titans this year. I was kind of like on them coming into this year. And they're playing the Bills. Oh, give me a break. Bills are going to clobber them. It's not. I don't anticipate this game to be close. If it's close, I will come back and do a segment on the Titans specifically. I will watch some film, look at what the Titans are. But unless that happens, nah. Bills, Super Bowl favorite. They're going to clobber them on Monday Night Football. Now for the more interesting Monday night game, the Eagles and the Vikings. Vikings had a great performance last week, almost completely shutting out the Packers and winning 23-7. The Eagles, on the other hand, had almost a great performance, and then they let the Lions come back into that game, and it ended 38-35. So we'll see if the Eagles' offensive firepower matches up with the Vikings' defense. I'm not sure what's going to happen there exactly. I do know that the Eagles' defense needs to watch out for the Vikings' offense. Y'all kept sleeping on Kirk Cousins for the last couple of years, and he's been pretty good for the Vikings the last few years. It's just they weren't winning games because the defense kept choking away leads. So I think now that a new system has been implemented for the defense, Darius Smith is there, they're taking advantage of a talented Vikings defense along with an already really good offense. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. Those are just the main starters there. There's also a couple other pieces that you can talk about there. Oh, this is also the the revenge factor for, I believe it was, is it Nelson? No, not Nelson Aguilar. I'm just gonna say I forget who the other Eagles wide receivers. But there's a revenge factor for him in here too. Although he's probably just special teams guy, wide receiver four. So anyway, so if you ask my opinion, Vikings probably got this game. I think they're going to take advantage of a defense that the Lions took advantage of. I could be surprised though. I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts versus Kirk Cousins. So uh, it'll be a great Monday night. It'll be fun watching the Bills be the Bills, and maybe the Titans will give them a game. I don't know. I don't anticipate that though. But I just love watching Josh Allen. Josh Allen is fun. And then this game right here, Vikings Eagles, banger. Can't wait. So that's it for my picks, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I hope your team wins unless you're playing mine.